Do you like desserts? Of course I do. I love to eat dessert, especially the tiramisu that Pizza Hut makes here in Shanghai. I eat it every time I go there, and I look forward to it every time we go, because it's my favorite part of the meal.
First of all, I would say that I definitely like dessert, and especially when I was blue or sometimes I was hungry, I would find something that is tasteful and I can choose to eat when whatever it is just to taste them and eat them more. And I think that it can bring me comfort and I can find satisfaction and I can have a full bellies after eating them up and after that I will feel that life is full of joyfulness and which is interesting. And as a boy and in his 20s, I don't really eat cakes often because it is not a dessert that Chinese people would eat in their daily lives, especially for those young boys. But at someone's birthday, like my birthday or my family's members' birthday, we would observe a cake to eat to celebrate. And I think for me, if I ate too much, it would be very greasy, and I would just feel disgusting to eat so much creams or just something that is oil.
Yes, I do. I'm partial towards all kinds of desserts like cookie, ice cream, and cake. Actually, I would eat cake once a week. I enjoy having a piece of cheesecake or brownie for a cup of coffee.
Yes, I love dessert. I enjoy eating different kinds of dessert. I usually eat them after dinner.
There are two circumstances when I have cakes, although I dislike it. One is on my birthday, another is when I feel stressed. On my birthday, cakes are just things for celebrating. As for the latter situation, sweet desserts too can make me relax and pleasant, even release pressure. There are many passages can prove this point.
Do you like eating cakes? If I couldn't eat cakes, I think I would die. I really love cakes, especially chocolate ones. Chocolate cake with chocolate frosting, with chocolate ice cream on the side. I really am a chocoholic, so obviously that means I love chocolate cake as well.
Yes, I do. I usually prefer mango cakes or ice cream cakes. They're my favorites. In fact, I was having an ice cream cake with my friends yesterday afternoon.
What desserts do Chinese people like? We really love desserts such as cake and ice cream. Ice cream is really easy to buy on the streets everywhere. My favorite ice cream is green tea flavor, and there's even a place near my home that I always walk past, and I always make sure to buy some green tea ice cream on my way home.
And as for the Chinese people, there is a difference varies from different ages. Like the teenagers, they just like to eat something that is sweet and something that is have too many ingredients in them, just as such as the spicy food or the fried chickens and so many sort of the foods they choose to eat. And in China, is a heaven of food, so there are so many food for us to choose, and we can eat whatever we want. There are so many categories there. But as for the old, Chinese people don't like to eat too much desserts. They just tend to eat everyday's meals, the rice and the dishes. They don't like tend to eat too much desserts after lunch or after dinner, because they think it is not just healthy for them, because they will feel a lot of dissatisfied after eating so much, and they would actually be prone to some illnesses or diseases if eat too much uh, if eat too much food that is full of ingredients.
Well, people in my country enjoy eating a range of desserts like lollipop, ice cream, donut, and so on.
That's a difficult question. There are so many varieties of desserts. I guess Chinese people prefer ice cream, especially the younger generation.
Have you ever made a cake? No, I've never baked a cake before, but I really love watching people make them on cooking shows on TV or on YouTube videos. I always think I should make one at home, but I always forget to. Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake and they look so easy, but by the time I've gotten home, I've forgotten all about them. It happens every time.
And I have ever made some cakes, not in my house, in a DIY store with my classmates. We got there to make some cakes and cookies. And it needs you to choose the shape that you want, and the pictures, the figures that are being put in the top of the cake. And you should make the ingredients like the cream or like the flour, like the breads, and so many of them in it, and to make full of them in a very model, and to just blend them together to make everything prepared. And after that, you should choose the fruits that are lapped in the surface of this cream, and there are some chocolates or some. For most of the time, the pearls, the strawberries, the watermelons, so many fruits on the top of the cake, and you should choose some models to define them, and to find to choose what you are really want to. And you can also use the model to give some words and give some figures by yourself. Like you can write somebody's name on the top on it, and or to find a picture. So after everything is prepared, you should just to bake them in the oven, and then to enjoy it after that. So it was real interesting for me.
No, because I think the whole process is complex and trivial. It needs various materials and costs a lot energy.
I have tried before, however, it was a disastrous experience. Unfortunately, I mixed up one of the ingredients.
Okay, here is a part 1 video on the topic of cakes and other sweet things. Let's have a listen to the question.
Do you like desserts?
And here we have sample 1.
Of course I do. I love to eat dessert, especially the tiramisu that Pizza Hut makes here in Shanghai. I eat it every time I go there, and I look forward to it every time we go, because it's my favorite part of the meal.
Okay, not a bad answer. Let's see here. It's a little bit flat. I mean, when he says of course, I don't really believe that. I don't buy into it that he really loves it. But anyway, let's look here. Here he says the tiramisu because it's specific tiramisu that Pizza Hut has. That's why I have the article here. Here in Shanghai. And then he says, every time I go there. So here in Shanghai because it's the same city, and of course there because it's a different place. It's not where you are right now. Let's see what else is here that's good. I look forward to it. If I could make a suggestion, just why? Why is it your favorite part of the meal? What is so great about the tiramisu at Pizza Hut? What makes it better than anything else? What sets it apart from the tiramisu that you can buy anywhere else? Alright, here's sample 2.
First of all, I would say that I definitely like dessert.
Okay, so this guy confuses dessert and desert. At least as far as pronunciation goes. It's not desert, it's dessert.
And especially when I was blue or sometimes I was hungry, I would find something that is tasteful.
Okay, he's using the present tense here. He says, actually no, he's using the past tense. It goes from present tense, I definitely like dessert when I was blue, going to the past tense, not sure why, and then here I would find something, and then back to the present tense, that is tasteful. So this switching from present tense to past tense is really confusing.
Or sometimes I was hungry, I would find something that is tasteful. And
also I think he's confusing tasty and tasteful. Food is not tasteful. You can do something that is in good taste. You can do something that's tasteful. You can wear something that is in good taste. You can wear something that is tasteful. Food is tasty, not tasteful.
I can choose to eat whatever it is just to taste them.
Is he talking about dessert now? I don't know, because he's saying I can choose to eat whatever it is. It sounds to me like he's just talking about food in general. Here he says it, here he says them. It's a little bit confusing.
To eat them more. And I think that it can bring me comfort and I can find satisfaction and I can...
It can bring me comfort. Yeah, some people do find comfort in eating. Okay, I understand that.
Full bellies after eating them up. And
this I don't understand. What is this word he's saying?
Full bellies after...
Full ballets? I don't know. Eating them... I don't know. Is he talking about dessert? I have no idea.
Eating them up and after that I will feel that life is full of joyfulness and which is interesting.
This reply is gone completely off topic. Well, not completely off topic. I mean, he is talking about food, but I don't know if he's talking about dessert.
And as a boy and in his 20s, I don't really eat cakes often.
Okay, now we're getting to the cake part. As a boy in his 20s, I don't know if you're a boy when you're in your 20s. It's more like a man, but okay.
I don't really eat cakes often because it is not a dessert that Chinese people would eat in their daily lives, especially for those young boys.
Okay, we're getting to the topic of cakes now, but I don't really know what he's saying. I don't really eat cakes often, alright, because it's not a dessert the Chinese people would eat. I don't know why he's using would here. If you're talking about things that are always true, don't use would. Would is used when you speculate or when you talk about things that are not real. So Chinese people don't eat cake in their daily lives, okay? Especially, there's no for here, because you're just emphasizing it's not just Chinese people, but it's specifically young boys, as he put it. So there's no for. So especially young boys. Okay, now he is using the conjunction but here. That's not bad, because he's going to talk about the times when he does eat cake, I guess. Let's listen to this.
But at someone's birthday,
I think I misheard what he said. He said at, not as. Okay, but at someone's birthday, okay?
young boys. But at someone's birthday, like my birthday or my family's member's birthday,
Okay. There are too many possessives here. You can't have families and also members. So it's just family members' birthdays. I would suggest putting an S there, because your whole family surely doesn't have the same birthday. It's like my birthday or my family members' birthdays.
young boys. But at someone's birthday, like my birthday or my family's member's birthday, and we would
It goes back to the would. Don't use would. Just say we observe a cake. Actually, no, don't say we observe a cake. That doesn't make any sense. But just use the verb without the would.
observe a cake.
No, you don't observe the cake. You observe the birthday by having a cake. Having the cake is how you observe the birthday. The cake is not what is being observed. So we observe the birthday by having a cake.
Eat to celebrate, and I think
Did I put a period there? I didn't. This answer is way too long, and it's way too difficult to follow what he's saying, to understand what he's saying all the time. Why is there no comma there? Okay, so we have a cake to celebrate the birthday, or we have a cake to observe the birthday.
celebrate, and I think for me, if I ate too much, it would be very greasy and
I think for me. Well, if you're talking about yourself, why do you say I think for me? Just if I ate too much, because you know yourself. You don't need to say and I think for me. Just if I ate too much.
I would just feel disgusting to.
No, not disgusting. The cake is disgusting. You feel disgusted. If I ate too much, but the question is not how do you feel if you eat too much dessert. It's just, do you like dessert? And also here he's using the past tense. Did he say if I ate too much?
If I ate too much,
Okay, so if I eat too much, it would be greasy and I would feel disgusted, not disgusting.
to it's so much creams or just some
Did you say ice creams or just creams?
so much creams or
The hesitation between ice and creams makes it hard to know what he's saying. Eye creams? Eye creams?
it's so much creams.
Eye creams. Anyway, cream is not countable, so there's no S. It doesn't matter if it's ice cream or any other kind of cream. Why is he talking about this? This answer is way too long.
Or just something that is oil.
No. Something that is oily. Oily. Like here, disgusting, we're using adjectives. Disgusting, disgusted, something that is oily. Okay, this answer is very long, very difficult to follow. The vocabulary is not bad in some cases. Like here, he says greasy, that's not bad. Although I don't think I've ever heard of anybody describing a cake as being greasy. Sometimes he makes mistakes, like he confuses disgusting and disgusted. But that's not terrible. I can still understand what he's saying. Let's see. Observe, but he uses the word incorrectly. But I can still kind of understand what he's saying. He has problems with the possessive. the vocabulary is maybe his strongest ability here. Coherence is much more of a problem because like here, sometimes he starts words, he doesn't finish the words, and he doesn't finish his ideas. Like I think here he wanted to say child, and as a child, but then he says as a boy. So he doesn't finish his ideas. There are some pronunciation problems that make it really difficult to understand what he's saying. Like, what is this? I don't know. So vocabulary, not that bad, but the grammar and the coherence, those are problems. Here's sample 3.
Yes, I do. I'm partial towards all kinds of desserts like cookie.
Okay, there's some good and some bad here. I'm partial towards, this is a great phrase to use. If you like something, you're partial towards noun. The noun here is desserts, but then here she says cookie. It should be cookies, not cookie. All kinds of desserts like cookies,
Ice cream and cake.
Okay, and she turns the page very loudly there.
Ice cream and cake. Actually, I would eat.
And here we go with the wood again. Why is everybody using would? Don't use would if you're talking about habits. Like here, she says once a week. There's no would. So actually, I eat cake once a week.
Cake once a week. I enjoy having a piece of cheesecake or brownie for a cup of coffee.
Interesting intonation there at the end. Cup of coffee. I'm not sure why her voice is going up at the end of an idea. Some interesting vocabulary here. A brownie for a cup of coffee. But a brownie can never be a cup of coffee. Having a piece of cake, having a piece of cheesecake or brownie with a cup of coffee, not for a cup of coffee. If you have something for something else, that means that is the thing you're having. For example, having cereal for breakfast. That means the cereal is the breakfast. Cheesecake cannot be coffee. It's impossible. Sample 4.
Yes, I love dessert. I enjoy eating different kinds of dessert. I usually eat them after dinner.
This is the whole answer. Problem here is dessert, them. Not a great variety of vocabulary. A lot of words is about dessert. And grammar, everything is a simple sentence. I love dessert. I enjoy eating different kinds of dessert. I usually eat them after dinner. So vocabulary is very poor. Fluency is pretty poor because the answer is so short. Vocabulary is pretty simple. Pronunciation is okay. Here is sample 5.
There are 2 circumstances when I have cakes, although I dislike it.
Okay, now what does the it refer to? Is the it the circumstances, or is the it the cakes, or is the it the having cakes? It's unclear. If it's the circumstances, it should be, I don't know, them. I'm assuming the it refers to cakes, but then it should be although I dislike them, because it refers to, usually pronouns refer to the preceding noun, and here the preceding noun is cakes, plural. So how is it it? Although I dislike them. There are 2 circumstances. Nobody talks like that. People are going to say there are 2 times when I have cakes, even though I dislike having cake. I don't think anyone is going to use the word circumstances in an answer like this. Anyway, someone who speaks English as a first language.
One is on my birthday.
Okay.
Another is when I feel stressed. On my birthday, cakes are just things for celebrating.
Just things for celebrating. Okay, things to celebrate with, maybe, but okay.
As for the latest situation,
No, what are you talking about here? As for the latest situation, what do you mean by that?
sweet desserts too can make me relax and pleasant, even release pressure.
I think she means recently. Okay. So recently, not as for the latest situation. So recently, I found that sweet desserts. I don't know why there's do and can here. Recently, I found that sweet desserts make me what? Make me feel relaxed and pleasant. Yeah, we don't often say that something makes you feel pleasant. If something can help me feel, I don't know, it's like a stress reliever, maybe that's what she means. So recently I found that sweet desserts can act as a stress reliever. They can help me relax, they can even release pressure. I wouldn't say this, I would say act as a stress reliever, or can help me relieve stress.
Relax and pleasant.
Also, this word is pleasant.
Even release pressure. There are many passages can prove this point.
Okay, now I'm not so sure that I understand what she's saying. Passages. So somebody wrote about this. Then I thought you meant recently she discovered this about herself, because she says me here, but then here she says there are many passages that can prove this point. Are people writing academic articles about her and her dessert habits? I don't think so. I'm not sure what she's saying here. In part one, this is not writing. This is not like the task 2 writing, where you have to say, oh, there have been studies to prove this and this and this and this. So in the speaking, you don't need to, you can just give your opinion. You're being judged on your language. That's all. This last sentence doesn't do anything except confuse me. There are many passages which can prove this point. I'm not sure what the point is, and I don't know what passages she's talking about. Really unnecessary. Next question.
Do you like eating cakes?
Okay. Sample 1.
If I couldn't eat cakes, I think I would die.
I think I would die. Now I believe him. Hear that stress on die?
I love cakes.
Oh, good grief. Why is this capitalized? Let's try that again.
I think I would die. I really love cakes, especially chocolate ones. Chocolate cake with chocolate frosting.
A lot of chocolate here. chocolate. Okay. But I mean, it's a little bit monotonous, but I mean, he does say chocolate cake, and then he goes to chocolate frosting, and then chocolate ice cream, and then chocoholic. It's not just saying chocolate. He does combine chocolate with other nouns.
Chocolate ice cream on the side. I really am a chocoholic.
Okay, it seems that way. So, frosting, yeah, the sweet stuff they put on top of cakes. Chocolate ice cream on the side as a side dish. Yeah, easy to understand.
So obviously that means I love chocolate cake as well.
I guess so, yeah. Alright. Good answer. Great answer. Sample 2.
Yes, I do. I usually prefer mango cakes or ice cream cakes. They're my favorites. In fact, I was having an ice cream cake with my friends yesterday afternoon.
You know, whenever people say, yeah, I was doing this thing that I'm talking about last week or yesterday, I always think, is this true? Is this real? I don't know if this is real. It doesn't matter, but just in my mind, this is what I think. Yeah, look at the continuous tense there. I was having. So the past continuous tense. I was having an ice cream cake with my friends yesterday afternoon. Okay, so some good grammar here. Oh, and that's it. Ooh, it's a bit short, isn't it? Okay, so why do you like ice cream cake so much? Okay, that would be my suggestion. I was having ice cream cake with my friend yesterday afternoon. Is this the cake he loves? Oh yeah. Mango cakes, ice cream cakes. Why do you love them? And if you're going to start talking about your friends, if your answer is this short, I'm not saying if your answer is very long, but if your answer is this short, why not talk about what you and your friends did and why you guys love ice cream cake so much? Okay, next question.
What desserts do Chinese people like?
As always, with questions like this, they're never going to put the name of your country or your nationality or whatever in the question, because then they would need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different questions. Anyway, here's sample one.
We really love desserts such as cake and ice cream.
I love the fact that the guy is pretending to be Chinese. I even forgot the question now. What desserts do Chinese people like? We really love desserts. Okay, so just cake and ice cream. Alright, here we go.
Such as cake and ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Ice cream is really easy to buy on the streets everywhere.
Yeah, you said streets, right? Not street. Okay, easy to buy on the streets, yeah.
Streets everywhere. My favorite ice cream is green tea flavor, and there's even a place near my home that I always walk past, and I always make sure to buy some green tea ice cream on my way home.
I mean, it's error-free, what can I say? There are no mistakes in there. I don't know why he loves green tea ice cream so much. To me, it sounds kind of disgusting, but hey, to each their own. Okay, here's sample 2.
And as for the
Why on earth does this person start his answer with and? Oh, my. Okay. No, just as for. And there's no the. So as for Chinese people, no the. I mean, I would suggest that you don't even say as for Chinese people, because this particular question does ask specifically about Chinese people. So you do not have to narrow it down to Chinese people. The question already narrows it down to Chinese people. So you can just say Chinese people, blah, 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 blah. There's no as for. You don't need to specify. The question already specifies.
And as for the Chinese people, there is a difference, varies from different ages. Like the teenagers, they just like eat to.
Already it's a mess. What is going on here? You should have started by saying it depends, not there is a difference varies. What is this? No. So it varies. Just say that. It varies. Then you go on to say teenagers. There's no the. Teenagers. There's also no they. You don't need two subjects. So teenagers like to what? Eat something that's sweet. And then who's the other group? I'm looking. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the olds. It's not the olds, it's the elderly. Okay, so it depends. Teenagers like to eat X. As for the elderly, they prefer to eat Y. That's what you should do. Nothing about this difference varies. It's complicated.
Ages, like the teenagers, they just like to eat something that is sweet and something that is have two.
Is have. Something that has, not something that is have. Something that has
Ingredients in them.
Again, something is singular, so you can't use them. So something that has too many ingredients in it. Now, I don't even know what this means. What does it mean that something has too many ingredients in it? I mean, I don't know. If you look at the list of ingredients that's in a product, how many is too many? I don't know. I mean, it's a good word, vocabulary-wise, it's a good word to say ingredients, but I don't know what this whole idea means.
I suggest the spice.
And this self-correction and repetition as such as
Seafood or the fried chicken.
Now I'm confused because I don't understand this example. He's talking about food that has too many ingredients in it, and then he says fried chicken. What are the ingredients in fried chicken? Isn't it just chicken? I don't know. And it's fried chicken, not fried chickens. spicy food. Does spicy food have too many ingredients? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of spicy food. I don't know what spicy food has to do with dessert. Is spicy food a dessert? Is fried chicken a dessert? A little bit confused here.
Such as the spicy food or the fried chickens, and so many sort of the foods they choose to eat.
I just realized he probably is trying to say swords, not really not really sword. I think it should be swords. Let's change that to swords. Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. And so many sorts of, yeah,
And so many sort of the foods they choose to eat.
right. But the question is specifically about dessert, not fried chicken, not spicy food.
And in China, is the heaven of foods.
No, there's no heaven of food. You could say China is a food paradise. You could say that. Or China is a paradise for foodies. You could say that. But not a heaven of food. Again, this is about food in general. The question is about dessert.
But there are so many food for us to choose, and
This makes it hard to follow.
we can eat whatever we want. There are so many categories there. But as for the old,
Okay, like I said, it's not the olds, it's the elderly. As for elderly people,
Chinese people don't like to eat too much desserts. They just tend to
no, it's desserts.
eat everyday meals, the rice and the dishes.
Again, nothing about dessert. No,
They don't like tend to eat.
they don't tend to like. They don't tend to like, V-I-N-G, not to eat. They don't tend to like eating too much desserts after lunch or after dinner. Okay, let's just hear what the idea is here.
Much desserts after lunch or after dinner, because they think it's not just healthy for them.
Okay, the word order here is also wrong. They think it's just not healthy. Not just and just not are very, very different meanings. If you say something is not just healthy, it means it's healthy, but also there are other advantages. So this is being healthy is one advantage. Maybe there are other advantages. But I don't think that's what he means. I think what he means is they think it's just not healthy. So bad. Word order is important.
For them.
I don't think you would get more than a 5 for coherence if you speak like this.
For them, because they will feel a lot of dissatisfied after eating so.
There's no word like dissatisfied. I think you might want to say dissatisfaction or discomfort. If I look at this here, it sounds like he's trying to say discomfort, but then he abandons the word. I think he wanted to say discomfort, which would have been the right word, but then he made up a new word.
Dissatisfied after.
There's no word like dissatisfied. He should have stuck with discomfort. So if they eat dessert, they might feel discomfort. That's right.
So much, and they would actually be prone to some illnesses or diseases if eat too much food that is full of ingredients.
Okay, I don't know why this is here. I don't know what this guy thinks ingredients are. Is he thinking about chemicals, maybe? Maybe he is confusing ingredients and chemicals. People get sick if they eat food with too many ingredients. I don't understand what he is talking about. Okay, what can I say about this answer? Number one, it's too long. How long did he talk for? 5:52, so about a minute and a half. It's a ridiculous amount of time to be talking on a single topic. Actually, not a single topic. It's a ridiculous amount of time to be replying to a single question in part one. It's way too long. And I don't even know what he's saying. After listening to this, I still don't know. The question was, what desserts do people in your country like to eat? And I don't know. I know teenagers like to eat fried chicken. But it's not a dessert. And then I know old people don't like dessert. He didn't answer the question at all. This is a terrible answer. Too many mistakes, too difficult to follow. Let's move on. Okay, sample 3.
Well, people in my country enjoy eating a range of desserts like
Okay, good. So far, but I did notice the next word is lollipops. Candy is not a dessert. Oh, I don't know. Maybe in China it is a dessert. A dessert is a dessert is a food that people have after a meal. Who eats lollipops after a meal? Does that happen? I mean, come on.
lollipop, ice cream, donut, and so on.
Okay. This word is donut. Donuts are countable. So are lollipops. So it should be like lollipops, ice cream, donuts. I don't know. Maybe in China people do eat lollipops as dessert. To me, it's very weird. And if somebody gave this answer to me, I would say, why? Please explain to me why people like to eat lollipops as dessert. It's bizarre. Donuts as a dessert? No, donuts is something that people usually have as a snack. There's a difference between a snack and a dessert. They're not the same thing. Snack is something you have between meals. Dessert is something you have after a meal. I can kind of understand how some people might have a donut after a meal, but lollipops, definitely not. So this answer is very short. If you give an answer like this, it's a single sentence. The examiner is definitely going to ask you why. Here is sample 4.
That's a difficult question.
Oh, I like the pronunciation here. That's a difficult question. Let's hear that again.
That's a difficult question.
I believe him.
There are so many varieties of desserts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Chinese people prefer ice cream, especially the younger generation.
Good answer in some aspects. Let's see, there are no mistakes. Just one thing. If you say, I guess Chinese people prefer ice cream, especially the younger generation, and your answer is this short, you guessed it, the examiner is going to ask you why. The reason why I ask you why is because your answer is, how long is this? 10 seconds? 9 seconds? They really want you to give more extensive answers so they have more language to work with when they try to figure out what score to give you. If you speak for 9 seconds, they can't get that information out of you. They need to hear more language coming out of your mouth. Next question.
Have you ever made a cake?
Notice the tense, present perfect tense. Here's sample 1.
No, I've never baked a cake before.
And here we have it, present perfect tense. I've never baked.
But I really love watching people make them on cooking shows on TV or on YouTube videos.
Okay.
I always think I should make one at home, but I always forget to. Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake, and they look so easy, but by the time I've gotten...
Now, wait a second, what? Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake. That can't be right. Let me listen to this again.
Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake.
Am I going crazy? What is he saying here?
Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake.
Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake. That's what I hear, but that doesn't make sense. Sometimes the videos I see on the bus are for cake. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this, but that can't be right.
And they look so easy, but by the time I've gotten home, I've forgotten all about them. It happens every time.
Okay, again, really good pronunciation. Vocabulary, not that great. Grammar, very good. No mistakes. I mean, look at this here. By the time I've gotten home, I've forgotten. It's using the present perfect tense in so many instances, and he doesn't make any mistakes. The vocabulary is a little bit simple. I mean, he's got, well, nothing stands out really. I mean, no mistakes, but we can't really say that any of the vocabulary here is less commonly used vocabulary. So fluency and coherence is excellent. Vocabulary is pretty average. Grammar is really good. Pronunciation is excellent. Okay, here is sample 2.
And I
Okay, we start our answer with and again. Interesting.
have ever made some cakes.
Okay, let's see here. In the previous answer, the guy says, no, I've never baked a cake. But you can't say, yes, I have ever. Ever is only used if you're making a question or if you say no. No, I have not ever. Or no, I have never.
Cakes, but not in my house.
I've made some cakes, but not in my house. Okay, interesting idea.
In a DIY store with my classmates.
Okay, if I could make a suggestion here. So I have made a cake, but not in my house. It was at a DIY store with some of my classmates.
DIY store with my classmates. We get there. We got
Some correction here. Some repetition. We. And then some self-correction. We go from get to got.
there to make some cakes and cookies. And it needs you to choose the shape that you want.
What is the it in the sentence? I don't know. So the subject should not be it. It should be you. So you need to choose the shape that you want your cake to be. You need to choose the shape you want your cake to be.
It needs you to choose the shape that you want and the pictures, the figures that are being put in the top of the cake.
I'm confused about why it's using the present continuous tense here. You need to choose the picture on a cake. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so you need to choose the shape, you need to choose the picture, and you need to choose the figurines that will be put on the top of the cake. Not in the top of the cake. On top. On the top, I should say. On the top of the cake.
Being put in the top of the cake. And you should make the...
Something else I notice here. And. So he's joining his sentences together, but he's using and every time. Again, that's a 5.
That are being put in the top of the cake. And you should make the ingredients like the cream or like the flour, like the breads, and so many of them in it, and to make full of them in a very model, and to just blend them together.
Okay, I'm not sure what he's talking about here. Making ingredients. See here. You should make the ingredients. Okay, so you have to make the cream. You have to go from milk, and then I don't even know how you make cream. I don't know. I guess you stir it or something. You churn it. That's the word. You churn. You have to make flour. What is he talking about? You need to grind the wheat into flour. Okay, I don't know why you need to make the ingredients. Don't you just buy them from the shop? It's a DIY shop, right? I don't know why it's using the word make. I don't know. Oh, he mispronounced flour. He said floor. Bread. I don't know what bread goes into a cake. Does he mean dough? Maybe dough? But it can't be dough because you make the dough with the flour. You don't put the flour and the dough together. Okay, so vocabulary wise, I'm confused about his choices, and I'm confused about this too, but I forgot what he said.
In it and to, make full of them in a very.
Right, make full of them. I don't know what this means. Again, the answer is beginning to get too long now. It's already 40 seconds. I think just stop talking here. So I went to a DIY store with my friends. Let's go back to the beginning. So yes, I've made a cake, but you know what? Actually, it wasn't in my kitchen. I went to a DIY store with some of my friends, and it's a kind of place where you can choose the shape of the cake and the picture you want to put on the cake, and also the little figurines that go on top. So it's really up to you what you want the cake to be like, and you can choose the ingredients like the. Okay, here I have to stop because I'm not sure what the ingredients are that he's talking about. But I would suggest that he also stops talking here.
Very model, and to just blend them together.
Okay.
To make everything prepared.
To prepare everything. I don't think to make everything prepared. To prepare everything. But all right.
And after that, you should choose the fruits that are lapped in the surface of this cream.
Okay. Well, I mean, he is using English words. Like fruit is a word, lap is a word, surface is a word, cream is a word. These are all English words. But the way that he puts them together, it could be any language. I don't know what he's saying. You have to choose the fruit that will be lapped in the surface of the cream. I don't know.
Face of this cream, and there are some chocolates or some. For most of the time, the perils.
Now I know he doesn't mean peril, but this is what he says. Peril is like a danger. So the danger and the strawberries. I can't think what the word is. It's not peril, right? It must be a kind of fruit because he says strawberries, watermelons. So I'm thinking, what fruit sounds like peril?
Most of the time, the perils, the.
Is it pears? Maybe pears? I'm not sure.
Strawberries, the watermelons. So
Watermelon cake? Is that a thing? I don't know.
many fruits on the top of the cake, and you should choose.
This answer is too long. This answer is too long. Okay, you put fruit on the cake. I thought you said you put figures on the cake.
Models to define them.
What is the them? You have to choose some models to define them. What is the them? Remember, if you use a pronoun, it refers to the preceding noun. Now here the preceding noun is cake, but this is singular, so them cannot be cake. So let's look at the noun just before that. So fruit. Choose the models to define the fruit. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
And you should choose some models to define them and to find to choose what you are really want to, and you
To choose what you really want to make, I guess.
also use the model to.
Oh, I got it now. He keeps on using the word. Oh no, I don't have it. I thought he meant the mold. The mold, like the shape. But I guess it's not a mold either. What is the model? I'm so confused.
Give some words and give some figures by yourself. Like you can write somebody's name on the top on it, and or to find a picture.
Okay, I kind of understand what he means now. You can use frosting and you can write somebody's name with the frosting. I get that. The picture, I'm not so sure about. I guess you can make a picture from frosting.
So after everything is prepared, you should just to bake them in the oven.
Okay, and here he throws in an H sound in oven. There's no H sound, it's just oven, not oven.
Then to enjoy it after that. So it was real interesting for me.
Wait a second, he didn't say really, he said real.
After that, so it was real interesting.
Okay. Actually, that's not really a mistake, because I know a lot of native speakers use real with adjectives, so I wouldn't say this is a mistake. Although if you feel this sounds weird, say really, and then interesting. Okay, so I don't know, the comments for this answer is the same as the comments I had for his previous answer. It's much too long, much too confusing. Same. I think if he did a test, he'd probably get a 5. This is way too long, confusing, and wrong vocabulary. Okay, sample 3.
No, because I think the whole process is complex and trivial.
To me, it sounds like these two words that she's using are almost opposites. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible for a process to be very complex but also trivial. But trivial means like unimportant. But if something's complex, doesn't that mean it is important? She had better explain what she means.
It needs various materials.
Okay, here's a new word, various. There's no word like various. So I think what she's trying to say is it needs a variety of materials. A variety of materials.
Various materials and...
Or maybe she wanted to say various. It needs various materials. Maybe various. Maybe I'm guessing wrong.
Various materials and cost a lot of energy.
Okay, something doesn't cost energy, it takes energy. So it takes a lot of energy. Now what she says here might be true. It might take a lot of different materials. It might take a lot of energy. But that to me sounds like she's trying to say it's complex. It doesn't explain the trivial. So I think she's using the wrong word here. But there is some good vocabulary usage, like whole process. These two words go together very well. This mispronunciation makes it hard to understand what she's saying, and here she uses the wrong word. It's not cost, it takes, or it requires a lot of energy. Okay, alright. Next one, sample 3.
I have tried before, however, it was a disastrous experience.
Good vocabulary. Good pronunciation so far. And I mean, he's using the past tense correctly.
Unfortunately,
Okay, and these words, like unfortunately, it's so important that you use these words. So good on him for using the word unfortunately.
I mixed up one of the ingredients.
Oh, but then he gets the tense wrong. Let's just do this again.
Unfortunately, I mixed up one of the ingredients.
Mixed up. Unfortunately, I mixed up one of the ingredients. Mix up. I'm not sure exactly what he means. So maybe he means like I accidentally used the wrong ingredient. Maybe mixed up. Yeah, he doesn't explain. This is where this is where the answer ends. It would have been so much clearer if he said, instead of using sugar, I used salt, or I messed up, and instead of putting sugar in the cake, I put salt in the cake, and it was a disaster. So if he just says I mixed it up, I'm not quite sure what that means. Anyway, I hope you found the video useful.